Today is the day we start getting the shop WJ ready for initiation into the world again. In the last video, we talked about it and threw it into a tree right off the trailer. So if y'all haven't seen the first, I guess, part one of this series, go watch that because that was pretty eventful. But this motor has a dead hole. I did check the compression on it. So we are not firing. I believe it was the number 2 cylinder, I think, that was dead. So we are pulling it today. We have to get this thing ready. I really want to try and take it to Jeep Invasion in August with the CJ potentially. Have the wife drive this one and then maybe me drive that one, but we'll see. That's this one at a minimum I would like to take up there. But either way, we got a lot of work to do. Got to get the motor in, check the trans out, see if there is a issue with that, because it wasn't shifting, but I think it was just fluid related. But yeah, so let's get her ripped apart here. Okay, so potentially we're the dumbest, or I am the dumbest mechanic of all time. Connor, would you agree or not?
I think the person who put this together is the dumbest mechanic of all time.
So we got this far trying to save not taking the AC lines loose. So that's why we got this. I don't know how that's going to go, but you know, we're going to see. I'm probably going to screw the fins up, but hey, whatever. So we got this far and Connor goes, are the converter bolts out? Well, yes, but I didn't take them out. The noise that was heard on the trailer is now very, very obvious that we're likely thinking. Now, I did do a compression test on this. Oddly enough, one time it checked out good, and then the other time it showed nothing. So we are fixing to retest that. But yeah, those are not the correct bolts for that. And as you can tell, the head of that grade 8 bolt, which is not supposed to be in there, is chewed off. Not correct torque converter bolts. A full pan of fluid from the torque converter. Connor, what are we doing?
Losing transmission fluid very quickly.
Yep.
Remove something that should not flow transmission fluid.
So whoever put the transmission back in ran these grade 8 bolts in. This is not a factory bolt. They are way too long. Some of them actually, you can see, it's actually got grind marks on the end of it. So they've been attempted to be shortened, it looks like, or they just were ran into the point of flattening them. So we are pretty confident that the noise was literally from these bolts. This is actually a good one. Here's one that the head was literally getting shaved off by the block. So right now we have all the electrical stuff that I took off this morning back hooked up, and we check compression again, and we do not have a dead hole like we initially thought. So I don't really know, but they're not ideal, but they're good enough to work, we think. So we're gonna crank it up, or at least attempt to, and see if the noise is not there that we heard initially on fire up. So fire in the hole, let's see what she does. Okay. How do you feel about that?
Squealing's better than knocking, so that would be improvement. I think it's fixed. We should go take it around the block.
I think we got a little more work to do, but it's definitely not making the noise that was in video 1. So I think we've found our issue in our two long torque converter bolts. And now we need a converter because we looked at the transmission fluid in our donor Jeep.
Torque converters should have one orifice which transmission fluid flows through into the transmission.
Yeah.
But we have it coming out of the front side, engine side.
Yep.
Through
from the bolt holes.
Converter bolt holes.
And we also know that the donor Jeep outside, the trans fluid was about the color of this valve cover.
It was the shade of something you'd find in a baby's diaper.
Yeah, doo-doo. So we're not going to go forward with that. I am just going to buy a new one, even though I have a donor Jeep and it's got a converter. Last thing we want to do is put all this back together and then not have gears. So
transmission fluid color is kind of like LS cam bearings. If you don't look, it's good, but we unfortunately looked.
Yeah. Yep. So we are headed to O'Reilly's to go pick up a converter for this. We're going to get this out and reseal a couple things. And then we know it runs. Not sure what the squeal is, but we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. It's all there. I mean, it's definitely running. So we'll figure it out. It could be the plate. It could be the plate may be a little bit on the flex plate. The little mid plate piece, like the spacer plate for the transmission, that was absolutely chewed to pieces. Like these were all getting into it and it was just, it's shredded. But yeah, it's pretty mangled. So we're going to reuse it though, because we don't need it to be full. So we're just going to cut off the damaged spot and throw it back on there. And then, yeah.
When in doubt, given enough time, everything will self-clearance eventually.
I don't think that was going to work there. I think we were going to shred a bolt head off and be stranded on the side of the road.
That's part of the adventure.
Okay. But yeah. All right. We'll be back in a second. All right, Connor, update video. What do we got going?
She is ready to come apart, but not willingly, and did not help us whatsoever. It was a WWE fight to the death.
This is probably some of the craziest stuff that I've seen. So it had 2 bolts in the bell housing.
Better than one.
Better than one.
Not substantially better.
No, because they were loose. Like they were not tight. So, and right now, well, we're just going to let them see what I just saw under there with the plate. I think we just figured out our squeak noise too. It's crazy. Yeah, it's wild. There's stuff not in the right spot. Whoever put this transmission in.
Someone's ASC certification should be removed.
Somebody took it apart, left it for about 6 months to a year, and then somebody else put it back together that has never worked on a vehicle in their life.
In our defense, whoever put it back together might have had a vision disability and might not have been able to see what they were doing.
I think that's borderline being nice.
Perhaps.
Yeah, I think that's being nice. But either way, yeah, it's all good. I mean, I bought it, I entered into it. This is what we're doing. And we're fixing to hang this thing and get the motor out of here. So here we go. So what's our midnight thoughts here?
Some people shouldn't be allowed to own wrenches or sockets.
Oh man, there's our culprit.
12 gauge bird shot or loose torque converter bolts.
I don't know if they took this and laid it up against a flat surface and used it as target practice, but that is what we got. So I think we're still going to be able to I know before everybody runs and looks at me and like, hey Thomas, why don't you just make that? You can get these for like $50, and I don't even think it's really needed to have this lower portion because all the spacing is done off of the perimeter bolts. So we are just going to cut what's damaged away, flatten it out away from the rotating stuff, and bolt it back together. And also, let's see, where we got you got a light there, Mr. Connor? I don't know if y'all can see, but that is the inside of the converter moving separately from the outside. So all the holes completely busted through. So that's cool. Flywheel, because the loose bolts, holes are oblonged. We've actually, that's got a ridge from where it was walking. Did you notice that? Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm gonna keep what I got, because it's all kind of, feel how rough that is.
Yeah.
Like it dips.
It's probably not critical, but it's not confidence inspiring either.
No, not after everything else we're doing, to like literally have it sitting right behind us and not put it on. And then if we had an issue, being that the crank is red off of this, I think I would hate to know that, like, this one is almost to size. So if for whatever reason it ever shifted and then we lost time, which it could have already been out of time. I mean, I have no idea. It was obviously self-adjusting. So last night was a very late night with me and Connor. I think we ended up leaving out of here about 1 o'clock. Made the decision just to call it on the weekend and kind of take today with the families and enjoy our Sunday. But the plan is still to reuse the existing motor that was in it. I've got a new Molly gasket set that I'm going to put on it, at least on probably the valve cover, the oil pan, the water pump and thermostat housing. Put a new rear main in it while it's out. I don't think I'll do anything with the exhaust or any of that. Intake side, the head gasket, none of that seemed to be an issue, and I'll have it if I need to. All that can be done inside the Jeep, obviously, if there is a problem. But that's the plan, so we're gonna go that route and see what we come up with. All right, so had a little change of plans. Been doing some thinking over the week, this past work week, and I think we're gonna do eeny, meeny, miny, mo to put one of these V8s in the WJ.